Hi, welcome to Something's Brewing with the Jenn. Jenn. Where's the S? The S is missing today. Instead, we got this.
Hello.
Yes, Jenn's still, recovering from her. If you want to know everything that's been happening, just you can look on Instagram. She's been recovering from her AFib incident. So we have Russ here today.
Hello.
Russ is. How does it feel? Okay, so Russ is behind the scenes. If you guys watch a podcast, at the end of the podcast, you always see the credits and it says, like, produced, directed by Russ Johnson. Well, welcome, Russ Johnson.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
So, this is like his first time being on the podcast.
I'm a pod virgin.
Not now. You just lost it. Right. Officially lost it, okay?
I didn't even feel anything.
No. Damn it. I thought I was so good. So, yeah. So he's normally, what does it feel like to be in front of the camera? I mean, is it weird?
It's
weird. Is it weird? Because he's normally sitting back there, like behind.
Right.
So is it weird to be here?
Yeah, it's hot. The lights are hotter than what I really thought they were. I always end up, setting the lights up for Jenn and Jenn. And
is it bright?
It's bright.
It like you're like blinded?
Yeah, it's bright. Fortunately, since I set up all the cameras and I know where everything's at, I know where to look, and I keep an eye on the screen so I can see kind of where things are happening.
Right. So instead we have a little thing behind the camera directing, which we will add his name later. But today we just thought, hey, give Russ a shot in front of the camera. Do you like it? Is it a little weird?
Yeah, it's a little weird, but you know what? I'm having a good time.
So we're gonna talk. We have some juicy stuff to talk about today. Jenn and I always talk about what it's like being in LA and the dating scene. Although I don't even really consider myself part of that right now. It's just it's weird, but from a female's perspective. And today we're going to get it from a male's perspective. Russ has some stories. He's got some stories, and we're going to talk about them today, or at least some of it. We're not going to be able to get through all the stories.
Right.
I think it'd be fun to have you on with Jenn at one point.
That would be fun.
And we could talk more about the stories.
Yes.
So I have a question.
Yes.
What is it like being behind the camera and like directing Jenn and I? Are you just like, is it just like too much? Are we too much, or are we just enough? Are we too much?
At times I don't think you're enough.
Oh, don't give me that challenge. Oh, I will meet it and exceed it and turn it into a firework.
Yes.
So you don't think we're too much?
No, I don't think so. Actually, I have a lot of fun when you guys are
Has there ever been a moment where you're like when you've been behind there and you're like, oh, they didn't, like you're almost thinking, oh shoot, like this is too much, should we keep this in? Yeah,
there's definitely times where I'm like, better make note of that because I'm gonna have to edit that out. And there's been a few here or there.
Honestly, we don't really edit. I mean, I do the editing too, but we really don't edit that much at all. I mean, out. We put things in, but there's very little that we edit out. And usually if we do edit out, it's usually like if something happens in between and there's some glitch or something like that, but we don't edit the content usually.
Right. No.
Out of it. In fact, I don't know if you guys know, but what Jenn and I do, everything is really just improv on the spot. We have like an outline of topics. We don't even get to them half the time, or we maybe, touch on one or two, but everything's improv and we have no idea where everything's going to take us, especially when we do our characters, which is
right.
Yeah, that's it's so much fun, but we don't know where it's going to take us. So I know for Russ, it's like he has to keep up. because he's got to like shift and because you never know what's going to happen, and so
Right.
that's what he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And it's interesting because I don't know where they're going to go with a lot of the stuff either.
well, that's what I'm
And
saying.
yeah,
I don't know
it's
where
a
we're gonna go.
complete mystery for me. That's what
Yeah,
makes it exciting.
but we're so in the middle of it. I don't even know. Like at the end of the pod, we look at each other and we're like, "What just happened?" We don't even know half the time. Like Jen and I don't know, so we're not watching it. We're just in it. So
Right.
yeah,
In fact, there's a
it's
lot of
wild.
times where when you guys are filming and everything, you're really in the moment, and
Well,
not even
yeah,
consciously aware
obviously.
of some of the stuff you're saying. Because we get done, they'll get done at the end, and they'll literally be like, "What happened?
Yeah,
Where,
like
what
what do
did we
we
say?"
right? Did
And
we?
we don't find out. Jen doesn't find out until we actually go through and start doing the
Yeah.
editing, and then she's like, "Oh my god!" And she's in there with her phone filming the editing so that we can send to the other
Jen.
Jen
Yes.
so that she can
She
actually see what
understands
happened.
because she doesn't remember it either.
Right.
So, if you guys didn't know, Russ is my ex.
Right.
He is not Snarf.
No.
I repeat, this is not Snarf. This is a different
No.
ex. No, Snarf came after. No, this is not Snarf. But Russ is my ex. We're still really close friends and everything. So yeah, that's where just so you understand where Russ comes from. No, that's where you come from, Russ. You
Yes.
originated that way. You just popped out like, "Let me your ex."
So, suddenly one day we were disconnected, and yeah.
What? I don't even know what that means. But anyway, we're still friends. He's got some stories to tell you guys because I know we talk about being women in LA and being on I've only been on Hinge. I haven't been on all the dating sites. I've been on Hinge and that's it, right? And that's just a lot. I haven't really done much on there. I've only been on like maybe a few dates and they've all been decent and pleasant. It's nothing bad. So I don't have wild stories. I don't but the wildness comes from a lot for me, like the messages, the proposals, the weird ass stuff that comes in.
Yes.
I would never meet these people. That's just it. But I get weird
I
shit.
mean,
But I don't
literally,
go on dates with them.
yeah, no, you'll get messages from people that you've never met, you've never talked
Well,
to
no, they're
on Instagram
oh
or
yeah, well
whatever.
yeah, Instagram, but Hinge. I'm talking about the
Yeah, or even
dating
on Hinge,
sites.
where these guys
Oh,
are
they're like
literally thinking that you've
yeah.
already got a ring around
Oh, I
your
know.
finger,
Like
and
it's weird when people
it's
start to like talk about how you're their soulmate and I've never even talked to the person, but that's the kind of weirdness I get. I don't go on the dates. I mean, I haven't been on that many, but I haven't had any bad experiences. But Russ has been doing this for a while. He's been on so many of them, right?
so
Not
many
just
dates.
Hinge. He's been no, I mean the
Oh, so
different
many sites.
sites.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
name a site, I've probably been on it. Not all of them. There's a few that,
Bigbutts.com.
huh?
Bigbutts.com.
Well, I was a frequent member, but
Oh, it comes out
yeah, no, not really.
like a big butt.
No,
Okay.
pretty much most of the standard ones. You got Hinge and Tinder and Match and Plenty of Fish and
eHarmony. God, you've been
eHarmony.
on everything. You
Yeah,
haven't been on Grinder,
I
right?
haven't been on Grinder.
You've
No,
been on Tinder?
Tinder.
Okay,
Yes, yep,
Tinder.
Tinder.
Okay.
There's the Facebook one, whatever
Oh
that one
God.
was. I
You were
don't
on that?
remember. Yeah, for like about a minute.
Jesus,
Yeah,
Russ.
they're bad.
No,
I
I mean like
I haven't
have
been on
you
J Date
you're
for obvious reasons, but
it may not be obvious to everybody.
oh, okay. So I'm
Or
not
Christian
J.
Mingle. There's Christian Mingle. There's J
Yeah,
Date.
no,
There's like religious ones
I
and
stay away
stuff.
from the religious ones. They're just a little too messy. So
What? Whoa, too messy. What are the religious people doing? Are they bringing lube? What's so messy about? I don't understand
well,
this.
maybe
You would know, not
maybe
me.
that's where the wild ones are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know about that because you had some wild ones and they
I
did not
do.
come from there. So
I
you don't
do.
know that. So, Russ, okay. So we're going to touch on a few stories. I just want to know, like, tell me, I know some of these stories, but tell everybody he was on Instagram live with us once talking about some of these stories, but he's going to elaborate today in case you didn't see that. Tell us like some of your craziest stories. Like what was the first encounter you had through a dating app or real life, I guess, but a
Right,
dating app
right.
where it was just like insane.
Yeah, I think one of the first ones actually was it was years ago, maybe 14 years ago. It was a while
Wow.
ago.
Hmm.
I'll go about 7 years, and then I'll be like, you know what? I need to get out there.
7 years.
Yeah,
No, you don't go that long.
4 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, what?
something like
I
that.
don't know about that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So
That
anyway,
sounds
I
crazy.
was on one of the sites. I don't remember which one it was, Tinder or Plenty of Fish or Match or one of them. It doesn't really matter. They're all the same. And I ended up
Mm.
meeting this woman who, I'm like, oh, okay, she's pretty, she's attractive, and she said she's in the entertainment industry. I'm like, oh, great, that I want to get into that because I'm also, in addition to this, I also do writing and everything else.
Producing.
Yeah,
Stuff,
producing and everything.
yeah.
And so we ended up connecting and ended up, I guess matching up, whatever. So many of these sites have their different little things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so we ended up deciding, hey, let's go and meet. So we met at this restaurant and ended up having a nice dinner.
First thing, did she? Just the first question.
Yeah.
Because this is something everybody complains about on these sites.
Yes.
Did she look like her pictures?
She did.
She did. Okay.
Yeah, she did look like her pictures.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the first question I always have because, you've had some that are so ridiculous, it's insane.
Yes.
Like someone who went from like 30 to 70.
Overnight.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Which is a big difference. Like someone who looks like it could be the mother of the person that is on there, right?
Right.
Okay.
Is your daughter coming on the
date?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So go on.
Okay. So we ended up deciding, well, hey, we had a good time. We just met and had drinks and hors d'oeuvres or whatever. So we decided, hey, let's go on a second date. And she hadn't really told me anything.
So the first date was good?
Yeah, the first date was good. Yeah, it was just meeting.
I thought you were talking about the TVs. Was there...
Well, no, that was like, that was later.
Oh,
yeah.
So she was on her best behavior
She was on her best behavior the first date.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm like, hey, let's go on a
Sometimes
second date.
It takes more than one date, guys,
exactly,
to see the funk come out.
So she's like, hey, for date number 2, why don't you come on over to my place? I'll make you dinner. I'm like,
oh God,
okay.
That's a nightmare for me.
Yeah.
Like if you know what, if you barely know somebody, going over their house, that's just a no. Like for them to make, I don't know. If a guy says that to me, it's always like, it's such a sleazy thing. Like, hey, why don't you come over to my house and make you dinner?
For, yeah.
Ooh, let's like snuggle up and I'll serve you some wine. I don't drink wine. Oh, that's okay. I have other stuff you could drink. Yeah, I'm sure. Like roofies.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I ended up going over there and she's making dinner and everything. And she's like, hey, go on up and, her bedroom was upstairs, but she had like a little, it was like a bedroom suite. So it had like a little couch area and a TV. She's like, go on up there. We'll watch a movie and everything. And I'm like, okay. So I'm up there and she comes up with dinner and everything. We're sitting there and
you ate dinner in her fucking room?
I know, it's weird.
Oh, I don't have my Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell your story and I will go.
Okay. So we ended up we were sitting there and next thing you know, and she's in a condo and I hear a baby crying. I'm like, man, these condo walls are really thin. Because that baby literally sounds like it's in the next room.
It sounded like it came from her belly.
Yes. And she's like, oh, excuse me, but so-and-such is hungry. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, my baby is hungry. I'm like, oh, you have a child.
Well,
I didn't know.
Oh, okay. You never knew about it?
No. Yeah.
Oh, which is fine, I guess, but.
So she goes over and she, like, in the next room, she goes and grabs this baby. And I'm talking, when I say baby, I'm talking like maybe 3 or 4 months old. I'm like, wow,
If it only was that.
If it only was
just,
that.
hey, guess what? I got a little baby. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
So she comes back over and I'm like looking around. I'm like, okay, well, where's the bottle? There is no bottle.
There's a something.
There's a something. A boob comes out.
I will pull a titty out in this thing. I will pull a titty out. Don't you dare do that. I will act like you with me. I'm with you.
And the baby, she starts nursing right in front of me.
Yeah.
And
I mean, second date, no. I mean, no.
no.
No. Oh God. At that point, I just question somebody's like sanity. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm like, okay, if you're in a relationship, what a
Yeah.
fine, right? But
Yeah.
like on a second date, you eat in her bedroom and she's breastfeeding while you're eating. It's just so.
Yeah, and I was
That's
like,
why she wanted to stay home.
Exactly, because she couldn't find anyone to babysit the baby.
Right. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
And so come to find out, I was asking her, I'm like, oh, so is someone such your only child? Oh, no, I have 4 other children.
Right. But they're not
4.
babies?
They're not babies.
Right, okay.
They're all the way from teenager down to like
baby.
4. Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah, to baby.
Booby baby.
Booby baby.
Feeding.
Booby feedy baby. Yes.
Oh, okay, Russ.
Yeah.
That was really weird. Okay. So she's a taboo, a head.
A taboo,
is attached,
yes.
No, a head is attached to a boob while you're eating, and so is she just like talking while this is happening? What's going on?
Yeah, she's just kind of like
Chill.
small talk, chit chat. It's all pretty casual. And
it's casual.
Yeah, and then she gets done. She goes and she puts him down. She comes back. I need you to give me a neck rub. And I'm like,
this is the weirdest porno I've ever heard.
I know.
Okay.
And so I'm like, massaging her neck, and then she's like, no, really get in there. And I'm sitting here. I'm a rock climber. I have strong hands and stuff. And I'm sitting here, and she's wanting me to like apply full force to her neck and her shoulders.
Did you break it? Did you break her neck, Russ? Did you break her neck? Is that what this story has? Is this how the story ended? Is this how your date ended? Should I call the police?
No, that's a different date.
Oh, God. No,
oh.
We're not going to joke about unaliving somebody.
Yeah, no.
No.
Anyway, yeah, that was the end of that date. And
but okay, Russ. It's the end of the date. But was it the end of your encounter with this woman?
I must say, no.
And whose fault is that, Russ?
That's 100% my fault.
I was gonna say, after this, I have no sympathy for Russ and what he went through, because it's like, okay, but you put yourself in a situation. So what else happened, Russ? What else happened?
There was 2 more dates.
2. Okay.
2 more dates.
All right, 2 more. What the? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, technically 3 more dates, but it's spread out over about a year and a half.
Oh, what? I should have had your head examined.
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
I wish you would have. Yeah.
No,
so
God.
The third date, she's like, well, let's meet for lunch. I said, okay. So I'll meet you at the restaurant. Oh. And so she arrives and she comes walking up to the door, and there's a whole bunch of people there, and I just figured, it's a busy afternoon. It was, I think, a Saturday or Sunday or something like that. Was it
her entire family, Russ? Was it her entire family that was in the restaurant?
It was her entire family. Then some.
And then her entourage.
Yes, it was her entourage. Yeah, her entourage showed up.
Oh, God.
They kept coming through the door.
She has
all
an
5
entourage.
kids. Well, she was carrying the one, the baby. And then there was the other 4 kids. And the au pair.
Yeah. Oh.
Who was the nanny.
Au pair.
For all these kids. For all these children.
Right. So she had a true entourage on your date.
Yes. On my date.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we proceeded
And she didn't tell you this was going to happen.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was her and
a surprise.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it was a complete surprise. So we're sitting here eating dinner or eating lunch, and everyone's kind of doing their thing, ordering all this stuff, and come to the end of lunch, and the check comes, and they all just kind of get up and
they gave it to you.
Yeah, they gave it to me.
They
gave it to me, all right.
How many people were eating lunch with you?
7.
So you had to pay for 7 people for lunch, and she didn't even offer anything.
No,
not an offer.
Not an offer.
Hey, Russ,
nothing.
let me help out. And I understand if it's just you 2.
Yeah.
That you would pay.
Right.
But like that, yeah. Let's just invite everybody and take advantage of this man, basically. Yeah. So and didn't she? What did she tell you her job was? You told me she should. So she should have been able to afford a meal with 7 people for herself.
She was a producer, like an executive producer.
And she was working on some big, huge movie. With, let's just say, some major A-list celebrities. Like
yes,
the most. major A-list celebrities you could think of.
Yes.
In a movie,
and
supposedly.
she's sitting here showing me like was it not the Rolls Royce, but the Bentley. She's showing me Bentley catalogs at lunch. Like, oh, do you think I should get this one? Do you think I should get that one? Okay, so the funny thing is,
like, so she said she's a big producer on, with a project with these big people.
Right.
I mean, we're talking big people, guys. Think of the biggest stars out there. Yeah. And so the thing is, I don't know, she just thought you were dense, because nowadays you can look up anything. You can see if somebody's attached to something, especially with those big stars and all of that. It is so, there was no project. In other words, there was no project. She lied, right?
Right.
And what do you think? Why do you think that is? Why do you think, I have my reasons, but what I think it is, but why do you think she lied about that to you?
I think she lied about all of that because she has 5 kids, needs somebody around to help her take care of them.
But she's actually acting like she's completely financially independent. So that could backfire by saying that. So,
right. Yeah, I think she was just saying all that to hook somebody in to get them to take care of her.
I don't know how that would hook them in.
I don't know.
Oh, I guess that's like, okay, so look, I have money coming. That's what it was, right?
Yes.
So don't worry about taking care of my 100 kids and my au pair and my family. Right. I have money coming in.
Yeah, of course.
And what was there other, like, you never really got to talk to her, right? It's like, was she always like, you said she was, remember you told me about the screen?
Yeah, like whenever we go anywhere, she was glued to a TV screen, whether it's at the house or whether it's out, glued to the screen. And the only thing I could think of is she is so freaking exhausted from taking care of all those kids that she doesn't have any alone time for herself.
She has an au pair who she apparently drags with her on dates. What I don't understand why. And that's the thing. If she had the au pair, why did they not go off on their own? Hey, if they would have been in the restaurant and then gone off, and then you didn't have to pay for whatever. That's
maybe it was an au pair subscription. And maybe she paid for 30 minutes at a time.
Oh, God.
I don't know. We just watched Black Mirror with the subscription service.
I don't know. No, let's not talk about that. That was weird. Yeah. So anyway, so Russ, and then so you just kept going on for a year? What was the deal?
Well, then I was like, no, I'm done. That was it.
What was the straw? What was the straw?
That broke. That was the straw that
was
broke
the one?
Camel's back. Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
For a year and a half.
For a year and a half.
And then somehow, some way,
the magic of the universe brought her back into your life.
Back around.
I know why, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She came back around. And
was her movie done?
Huh? Oh, her movie must have been done.
I'm so sorry.
She must have been waiting on to pay for that.
Okay.
So anyway, we ended up going. It was like coming up for Valentine's or something, and I ended up taking her out to a restaurant for Valentine's.
I do not feel sorry for you.
I know.
Not even a little.
Not even a little. Stupid.
Yeah, that was really dumb.
Yeah.
Russ, I'm sorry. That at this point it's your fault, not hers.
Yes. Yeah.
She actually probably thought, this sucker, man, I could do anything I want with this guy. He will not go away.
Yeah.
I could have 12 more kids and he'll be on board.
It was the one last date, and actually it was a little bit better that time, but no, it was still.
There were no kids.
Oh no, the kids were there.
Her baby was a year older.
Yeah.
It was. Oh God.
Yikes.
Oh, so did you learn? What did you learn? I always say, okay, so when something like this happens, there's always something, a reason things happen. Nothing's ever wasted. What did you learn from that experience, Russ?
I learned that I need to actually go into these things with my eyes wide open and look beyond the veil.
You had your eyes closed the whole time? Wow.
Yeah, I must have, because there's obviously a lot of red flags I missed. And
they were so red. They were glowing neon.
5 red flags.
They were glowing red neon, and they were screaming at you.
Yes.
And you're still like, da 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 da.
I know.
It's so
awful.
funny.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay. give me like, because I mean, he's got a lot of stories.
I do.
He has so many stories, guys. We could do several episodes with Russ and talking about some of these dating stories. So it's interesting from a male perspective because I only know from a female perspective, right?
Right.
So, and I know there's two sides to everything, and so what? So would you say? Do you think it's different being in LA? Like in LA dating, do you think that's just different? I mean, I know that you're here and you're not dating elsewhere, so you don't have anything to compare it to.
Right.
But would you say what would you say about dating women in LA?
I definitely think it's a lot more difficult because I mean there's a lot of good looking people here. And then there's a lot of not so much.
And people like they have this
I mean,
list of
not that
standards.
people are, ugly or whatever,
No,
but
no,
there's just
yeah,
a lot of
well,
normal people here in LA.
well, of
I
course
mean,
there
it's
is,
just
and
like
it's
anywhere
not like
else. There's
everybody
that very
thinks that
small percentage that
everybody
is
thinks that LA everybody looks like they're models, and not
right.
everybody is. I mean,
No.
obviously there are a lot of people like that, but there's more there's more average people than anything.
Right.
But that aside,
Yeah, I think it's expectation.
no, but don't you saying like the women in LA have like a list that you have like
Oh yeah, yeah.
there's like
No,
a
there's
list?
definitely the list.
The list.
Yeah, and if you're not checking off all the boxes on their list,
Mm-hmm.
then they can go to the next person in line. That's the thing about online dating. Guys,
It's different.
girls, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There is, I mean, literally, online dating is your shopping list.
It's shopping.
It's shopping.
And it's so easy. It's so much easier to dismiss people online than it is in person.
Right.
Like if you have an interaction with a person, there's a chemistry and a vibe. But online, it's just like you're just scrolling.
Scrolling
is basically what you're doing.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And here, yeah, literally, if you're not over 6 foot, which I'm not, it is what it is. And if you are not making the 6-figure, except here in LA,
you're making good money.
I'm making good money.
Well, you're making good money.
Yes,
that's not the issue.
No, here I would need to be, if I really want to attract that, I'd have to be in the 8-figure range,
like multi-million
dollar. Then I could probably get away with not being 6 foot. But
yeah, anybody could get away with being. You can look like a little gnome,
right? But if I had, but if I had 100 million or 200 million or whatever,
gnomies, you know me, gnomies. I know you. You're on my hinge all the time, you little gnomies. Exactly. With a lot of confidence too. And,
yes.
and I'm not making fun of people other than they're really gross sometimes, okay? They're disrespectful and weird and gross, and they think they can just say and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like because they'll throw money at you or trips or let's go get married. Let's run away and get married. People I've never talked to. Let's run away and get married.
Right.
What do you think this weekend? It's like I've never even met this person. I've never seen them. I've never talked to them. That's how crazy and bold they are. And I feel like people in LA are probably bolder than maybe most people.
And see, with the women, I don't get that. Well, I wasn't. I haven't been on the dating sites for a while.
Yeah.
But
oh no, it's different. No. There's a different approach, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a different approach with the women. If you're not meeting those check boxes, they're just swiping. Now, on the last dating site I was on Hinge. I actually got on there, and then a month later, I talked Jenn into getting on Hinge. Yeah. They're still on. I think, but
it's
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. They don't really take it too seriously.
I can't. It's not.
I actually was taking it somewhat seriously.
Oh, he takes everything too seriously.
I think I went on 25 first dates.
Let me tell you that the problem is like Russ. I always say there's like always lessons to be learned, and the same things kept happening to him over and over. The same situation down to a woman. He had a horrible experience with a woman. It was crazy. Not the breastfeeding one, but different woman. Down to so he's like, I'll never do that again. And then another woman comes along with the same name. Drives the same car, looks exactly the same. It's not the same person, but it could be the same person.
Right.
And he falls right back in the trap. Because guess what? When you don't learn, if you're not growing and moving forward, you're going to
repeat those lessons.
You're repeating you're going through cycles, and because you're not learning and you're not growing. So I always say, like, what did you learn from this, and what will you do differently next time? But it's also like inner reflection. You were so much outward. You were putting so much forward and out that you weren't going within.
Right.
And so it was like forcing you to do something. It was like, it was so obvious that this other person was just like the previous person that you couldn't see it. And everyone was like, oh my gosh.
Everyone was
are
like,
you kidding
Russ,
me?
wake up. You know,
it's the same thing. And then he didn't realize it till he snapped out of it. So it's because he's just looking out, and he was being, I mean, I hate to say desperate, but I mean desperate for something to happen.
Right.
Instead of like working on yourself, being just, I guess, happy with who you are, and really you had to do that first. You had to go within. You had to fix this in order to put yourself out.
Exactly.
You weren't doing this. You were just, everything was going out and nothing in.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, bad date after bad date after bad date, and some of them were like downright scary. I mean, one of them, thank God, Jenn ended up Googling this person.
I did, because I got a really bad feeling. So I like channel and stuff, and he was telling me about this woman. Something didn't click. It wasn't from a dating site, though.
No, it was not from a dating site.
So and something was bothering. I don't know what it was, and I got.
It was from one of the social media sites. That's all I'm gonna say.
So I got something that just was yelling, check, or like, look her up. Oh no, look her up. Look her up, look her up. And I was like, where's it? Because I channel, you know? And so I was getting this information. It's like, and I wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. But I just dismissed it, like, whatever. So finally I'm like, okay, I'll look her up. I looked her up, and right away, information came out about this woman that, you guys, this was like big news.
Right. We can't share a lot.
No, it's nationwide news.
Nationwide news.
That she was involved in a horrific crime.
Yes. Like,
and I was like,
unaliving of somebody, not by her hand, but
well, she was involved.
She was involved.
And it's serious. And I'm like, wow, congratulations, Russ. You graduated to like a freaking like felon. And she ended up like, she wasn't in jail. She wasn't in jail, right? Because
she turned state's evidence against the other person.
The other person. So they said, okay, they gave her immunity. If she tattled on the other person involved in this crime, she got immunity. And that's the only reason she's not in jail. And we're talking in jail for something so damn serious that it's like scary.
Right.
And that could have been you. And I only say that because it's a very similar situation.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
No, I know. I know.
I mean, really. And we can't, you can't say who it is, but it is really crazy. And then you go, what did you do? You went to tell her, I don't think this is going to work.
We're not quite on the right
She didn't understand, right?
Yeah.
She's like, what?
Oh no, she didn't understand. She had, well, I'm sure she knew.
Oh,
but
well, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I Googled
then I was the bad guy.
Yeah, you were the bad guy because you didn't want to get involved.
Right.
And then she claimed, oh, I'm changed or something. It's like, oh, well, I mean, come on, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's some things that are deal breakers.
Yes.
Like, and I can't say what it is, but I don't know I can't think of, unless you're just nuts and you're just looking for trouble.
Right.
I can't think of one single person that would go in knowing that into a relationship where they could have been the person on the other end that could have happened to again.
Right.
Like, I mean, obviously this person is a complete sociopath. There's no doubt. Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
that
100%.
was the craziest. Now that one you didn't really date long.
No,
it wasn't like that.
No, it was literally
that
all
was the craziest situation.
Texting and a few phone calls.
Thank God, because what if she would have turned out to be like a stalker?
Oh, I know.
Or got attached to you.
Right. Sick.
It's for the best.
Hey, please!
Almost done. Just one more.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything else. But so thank goodness.
I know.
For your friends and family.
You know, I sit here and I hear myself reiterating these stories, and I'm like, what an idiot. What was I doing? What was I thinking? And I don't even recognize that person anymore.
So tell them about your journey. So we're going to talk more about these dating stories on another episode, maybe with Jenn, because there's more, guys. Oh, there's more, and they're all a little crazy. So tell me, okay, so what made you? So you went on this journey. Is this what propelled your journey? I just wonder. What was it that propelled you to go on a spiritual journey?
Right. I think this was one of the things that really pushed me in that direction. It was just the kind of the scary times, as far as the economy and everything else. And really, I think I've been tiptoeing around my spiritual journey for probably the last 15 years ago or years or so.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is thanks to Jenn.
Jen.
This Jenn here. She points me in the right direction. She literally takes my shoulders to my head and
no,
go this way.
I don't. I'm not.
No, she's not. It's not like that.
That's not how it works.
No, it's much more subtle than that. But
nobody should tell you what to do.
No, she's very encouraging and supportive, and constantly was wanting to help me. I was the one who actually had to accept the help.
Right. That's true. Well, not just help, but you have to do it yourself.
I have
no
to do
one
it
can
myself.
do anything for you. All
That's
people
correct.
can do is guide you, and we're all guides. And then the rest is up to you. You have to have your own experience, your own journey. Nobody can, nobody can do it. I mean, they could guide you and say, hey, and you can ask, hey, what would be great for this, or what should it? And but ultimately it's up to you to have your own journey. So what's happened on this journey, would you say?
I mean, a lot.
What have you learned? Where are you now? What is the biggest difference between you now and then when you first started your journey? What is the biggest difference you notice in your life?
It's a lot of little things that build up to where I don't even feel like I'm the same person. Literally before.
In the best way.
Yeah, actually, in the best way.
I would argue that maybe you're more of you.
Yes.
More of yourself.
More, more of my true self.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it was stripping away the ego, realizing that external things, people and stuff aren't going to bring me joy. I have to find the joy myself within. Meditation was a huge factor. I went from not even knowing how to meditate. How do I do this? I don't get it. Jenn would say, oh, just go within. I'm like, do I imagine that I'm going down my throat and into my stomach to meditate? How do I do this?
All right, Rob. Honey, why don't you want to go to a hotel? I don't know. You do too know. Now come on, tell me. Don't want to. Please.
That's little Tony. He was in his stomach. He went down to his stomach.
Yes.
That's what that makes me think of little Tony and from The Shine. You guys, oh, come on. You know what I'm talking about, right? If you don't, oh, shame on you. Go watch The Shining.
Right. Yeah. But a lot of it was meditation.
That was the thing, the practice that that's the thing. You have that thing, that practice that helps you go within.
That's correct.
And then that's just the springboard for everything else, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was getting in contact with nature, going for daily walks. And do you know what? Say what you will about all the awful things with the lockdown and with the C, and the V, and you guys know what I'm talking about.
We're not talking about vag.
No, we're not talking about vag.
Anyway, whatever. Okay, that's a whole. This is very controversial. It's not meant to be controversial,
right?
But yes, the lockdown really changed a lot of people.
It really changed a lot of us,
for better or worse.
Right. I gotten sick for a couple of weeks, but I was able to get out and walk, and getting out every day and just walking around the block, walking in nature, doing moving meditations. Really was, I think, the start of that turn
So
around.
Russ is actually a 5th degree black belt.
Yes.
Martial arts.
Yeah.
And I'm a 2nd degree.
In traditional kung fu. Yeah.
Yes, in kung fu. So he's like master level, and a lot of, I mean, that's always been there, like the journey within and all that. And martial arts is, there's a lot of elements to that through martial arts and qigong and all of that.
Correct.
So this spiritual journey you've been on, so it kind of shifted you, didn't it? Like into thinking differently in what you wanted to do.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it shifted so many things. One of the big things that really has changed was just my eating habits and my view of health and fitness in general. I went from just eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and then wondering why I was getting so big and feeling so crappy to cutting things out, slowly eliminating, starting with the gluten and then, da 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 da. Now I'm 98% plant-based, something like that.
I mean, that's your choice. I
That's
mean,
my
not
choice,
everybody,
yeah. And
there's
everybody
no
is
like
has to
forcing.
find their own way.
Right. But
Everyone's
as
on
far
their
as
own
like
journey.
your journey about what you want to do with this that
Yes,
you've
yes.
attained now.
So a lot of what I've been wanting to do is actually open a center or open a health and wellness center or retreat.
Yes, like
Yeah.
on a large scale.
On a
right?
large scale, yes. And share what I've learned and a compilation of things that
For
we've
healing.
all tried for
For
healing.
healing, yes.
Yeah.
So in other words, someone goes to your wellness center and they can either just do this or that, dabble and let's do this. Let's do some martial arts. Let's do some qigong healing. Oh, let's do a salt cave session. Let's do some meditation. Let's do acupuncture. Whatever it is, there's going to be all these things there. Or you can go on a retreat and then just have a whole health and wellness where you restructure your entire perspective of everything and how you live your life, right? Kind of like a coaching thing.
Right. Yeah. Think of White Lotus minus all the drama and intrigue.
White Lotus is not that.
I know, I'm teasing.
That's just a freaking vacation, man. Ew,
right.
no.
Yeah. No, it's completely
Please,
opposite of
no.
that. No. So I see it being someplace like in the mountains or in the woods, underground caves with, salt caves and pools and
so
spa.
You have a psych degree.
Yes, a Bachelor of Science in Psychology.
Right, and you're going for your master's.
Right. And then hopefully my doctorate. I want to get to that point.
Right, but so that's just part of what you want to do. I mean, there's so many different levels to this.
So many different levels, different practices that I want to attain. Yes.
Yeah. So, there's so much more we can go into. We're running out of time. I can't believe
already?
it.
Wow. Oh, went quick.
It does. Now you know it goes. I don't know how quick does it go on the other side of the camera?
It goes pretty quick.
Because for us, it's like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You give us a sign like, hey, wrap it up. And I'm like, no, wait, I just got started. That's how it feels sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I wanted to dive in.
He's experiencing what I experience.
Oh, with the cat. Raven is so cute. She's so cute. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. So, there's other things I want to talk about, especially because you're, with your psych degree and stuff.
Right.
When you come back on, we could talk about some of this other stuff that's very interesting. Your point of view on some things. Like I come at it from a very spiritual point of view, a lot of this stuff. And I know you do too, but also you actually have a psych degree. So then I want to pick your brain on like how much of it do you weigh it out with that, the very three-dimensional information, and then from more of an esoteric
and how to tie the two together,
or maybe not. I mean, whatever that is, because I feel like everything really is, I mean, even the very intensive information that's 3D, it's like it's all a part of that, but it's just like kind of grounded material, right? So maybe sometime you can come back and we can talk about that and more dating. You got to come back on for this. I know Jen's going to want to be here for some of those others too.
I think she.
There's some.
I think she will.
There's so many, but there are.
There are.
I was telling you, he needs to get on social media more and be more active. I was trying to encourage him to do reels about a dramatization about some of these, because no one's going to believe they're real. You're going to say, oh, based on a true story, and people are like, yeah, right. Like he's making that up, but he's not making it up, guys.
Right.
It's real. It's hard to believe, but it's all real.
It's going to be a series. 50 worst dates.
No, 50 Shades of Russ.
50 Shades of Russ.
50 Shades of Green, apparently. There's one bright shade right here. Okay, guys. So maybe we'll have Russ back on. What do you guys think? Give Russ some love. Go follow him on Instagram. And take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.